My wife has told me if she knew me, she would not have been friends with me, and she's right. Jen and I met basically through a practical joke. She and I knew each other sort of peripherally because we were both involved with RUF my first senior year, and her freshman year. She went 3 years, I went 5 years, we averaged out. So we kind of knew each other in general, and then she got a call from my roommate and I did practical jokes on each other all the time for each other's birthday. So I had gotten them really, really well a few months earlier, so I should have been aware practical joke was coming. So, but it wasn't. I was not thinking about it. So Jenna calls me and says, hey, I have to do a report for my psychology class, and I have to interview a senior, and I thought of you. And of course, I'm like, she thought of me. And so she gets there, and she's got me all on not video, but all on camera, and not on camera, audio. She's asking me all sorts of questions. And one of the questions was, hey, what's your favorite animal? I said, monkey, of course. And well, act like a monkey and ask me out on a date as a monkey. And I was just like in one of those ham moods. So I stand up on a table and I go, hey, pretty monkey, won't you go swinging through the vines with me? I'll set up a picnic for you. All this kind of stuff. And I made it like super romantic / goofy. So the next night I was the MC for RUF, standing in front of 200 people. I start talking about announcements. The microphone shuts off. My roommate re-asked the questions to my answers. And so the question on audio for everyone to hear was, Steve Lammers, how would you ask David Sinclair, your campus minister, out on a date? And it was me going, hey, pretty monkey, won't you swing through the trees? And there were several more like that. And I'm just like in a daze in front of all these people. And then I look at Jenna and I go, and she sent me an apology note because there's actually stuff we talked about afterwards that was pretty personal that my roommate used against me. And she didn't realize the audio was still on. That summer, she went away. She did youth ministry at her church. I did it at my church. So we get back to school and I ask her for like a lunch date, but just thinking I'm like spiritual big brother, and we sit down for lunch and we eat, and 3 hours later it was like, wow, she's amazing. And she apparently felt the same way. She actually called her dad and said, hey, I met the person I'm going to marry, which of course made me feel great. But it took a while. Once I was actually ready to get married, it took a while for her to feel the same way. Bottom line is I went away to Aiken, South Carolina to do youth pastor ministry, and we were wrestling with, okay, are our callings compatible? Because it was a question of, okay, I'm gonna be in the pastorate. I'm gonna go to seminary. I'm gonna spend money on that. She at the time was thinking about med school, and so we just had to take a summer to go, is this really gonna work? Like, is a pastor and a doctor, are they gonna be able to get married? And how many years of schooling are we gonna have to put off marriage in order to do this? So we took a summer to think about it and pray about it, and came back kind of independently of one another. I said, I'm willing to put off seminary, and she said, I'm willing to be a PT instead of a doctor. And that's where we said, this thing's gonna work. And the rest is history.
Hi, my name is David Wilson. I'm the director for Bent Tree. Why are we doing these videos? It's because we want to tell people stories. We think as they tell their stories, they bring you into their story. And we think that if you hear their stories, maybe you'll have the courage to tell yours, or that you'll ask other people about theirs. We think this is a worthwhile ministry for you to invest in. If you'll see at the end of these videos, there'll be a link for you to see if you could donate to us. We sure could use the help. Thank you.